Hi, I'm Trey Ken. I pastor Northwest Fellowship, and this is my wonderful wife, Mary Ann.
Right there.
And we started the Unceasing prayer movement 17 years ago when we were on a prayer walk at midnight in our little suburb of Austin. And God said to us, wouldn't it be wonderful if 31 churches would adopt one day of prayer every month and my city could be covered in prayer 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year until Jesus returns.
You know what I love? I love that God said my city. Now, we're in the Austin area, the greater Austin, Texas area, but any city where God's people are is God's city. So I want you to know God says the same thing to you. He says he wants his city covered in 24/7 prayer, and I love that.
So we've been praying for Austin night and day for 16 consecutive years by a church adopting a day, praying for 24 hours, passing to the next church. They pray for 24 hours. And last week, we just had an incredible gathering of leaders. Every year, we get our leaders and all the pastors. We invite every pastor in the city to come to our Unceasing Prayer Pastors Lunch, and we try to get them signed up to pray for our city for the next year.
It was amazing. I want to give you a picture. There was almost every nation that I know of. No, not every nation, but there were so many nations represented. There were so many generations represented. There were very many denominations. We came together to worship Jesus, to love one another, and to join our hearts in fervent, dedicated, fiery prayer. And I know that God is going to respond. When his kids come together, when we break down the barriers of hostility, of differences, when we come together, God moves. And that's what you'll see. That's what we've seen. We are so grateful to God.
Yeah, the prayer movement through America Prays, World Prays, it's a unity movement.
Yeah,
Cities come together from all different denominations to stand for one thing, for Jesus to be exalted over a city. And that's what we've seen in our city. I want to tell you what we're doing right now. This is our latest strategy. We're saying, God, we want the next generation to embrace the prayer movement. When you go around the country, a lot of the prayer movements are older people, but we're seeing a younger people embrace the prayer movement.
Amen.
And we found that young people come to the prayer movement through worship. Mm-hmm. If we let them lead worship and press that side of it, they'll come and they'll pray with the older generation. But we're trying to give our prayer movement away to the next generation. We want the next generation, Gen Z, Gen Y, whatever, to embrace this and run it. So we're believing Austin's grown a lot since we've been here.
Yeah.
I mean, when we came here 30 years ago, Austin's doubled every 10 years we've been here. It's an incredible number of people. So we're trying to see different segments of the city to see a prayer movement arise. And tell them what's going on north in Liberty Hill. It's pretty incredible.
Amazing. Our daughter just happens to be a principal at an elementary school. I know we're not old enough to have a daughter that's a principal, but in fact we do. Is a principal at an elementary school in a little town, a suburb of Austin called Liberty Hill. In Liberty Hill, a young woman and her husband had a heart for prayer in all of the schools. So right now, there are 11 schools participating in prayer. At the beginning of the school year, in the elementary schools, in the middle schools, and in the high school, there were about 100 per school, 90 per school that joined together to pray before the first day of school. Guys, there is a miracle happening in Liberty Hill. The students, the parents, the teachers are uniting in prayer to say, God, Liberty Hill is your city. God, we want to see this place changed by the power of Jesus, and we are seeing it through united prayer.
And that happened and is happening across the earth because the churches said, we want to pray for our city night and day. And the young people, we say, take it and run with it. Mm-hmm. Take it and run with it in your school. Take it and run with it in your job. Take it and run with it in your neighborhood. Let's see every man, woman, and child reach through the praying church, through the prayer movement that happens in your neighborhood. I just want to encourage you. We want to encourage you from Austin, Texas. We've been doing it for almost 17 years. Take and run with the prayer movement where you live.